Good day everyone. Today our topic is all about communicating with influence. So, communicating with influence is the ability to articulate ideas in a clear, relatable, and convincing way to people at different levels in the organization can help manage resistance. So, yun siya articulate wala siya nakapagsalita ma-convince nimo ang imong mga tao within your organization. So this can be supported by using appropriate style and media. So to emphasize the importance of communicating with influence, one practitioner mentioned that you might have all the knowledge and possess all the skills, but if you cannot impart them, then it means nothing. So, nananimutan ang knowledge, ang skills, ang possess, pero pag wala nimo ni nakuhaan, wala nimo ni na-deliver sa ila pagtarong, wala nimo sila na-inspire o na kuhaan kani wala nimo na sila na napasabot with nga kuhaan. So, mahulog sa walay hinungdan. So, this is particularly important when you are trying to persuade top management. So, as another practitioner pointed out that it is really important to communicate and generate commitment from the top. So, it is important so that your organization has a successful goal.
Good evening everyone. Good evening ma'am. So, topic for today is giving effective feedback aside from selling people through communication. And it's important for OD practitioner to be able to communicate, result, and diagnosis leaders and employees is a not threatening atmosphere and well as anticipate and manage emotion reactions to the feedback. Reaction to feedback is not just about pointing on or out problems. It is about doing in the way that doesn't threaten or upset a person receiving it. One practitioner from the 2014 FGD recommended that takes courage to give the client bad news, especially when he is the problem. In the highly relational contents, an OD practitioner needs to have the courage to speak, but to speak with kindness, considering the feelings of the other person. Other practitioner must to humble to explain excuse or diagnosis to leader and stop in a calm, respectful way. They also need to be emotional aware, understanding how people may react to feedback and preparing manage and emotions. So, imagine you're an OD practitioner working with a company where the department is understanding improving because a manager trained and micromanage and demotivate the team. The micromanage is ang ilang manager sobra na hands-on. So because about the skills and knowledge, ang dinamunit the team is murag the pressure ang mga employee because is employee emotionally and pressure. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, I'm
about collaborating. Collaborating is given the generally complex nature of OD initiatives. Practitioner must be able to work effectively with people from different disciplines and perspectives. So, collaborating means working closely with others. Since OD deals with complex change, OD practitioner need to work effectively with people from the finance, operation, each bring different skills and viewpoint. By collaborating, they can understand that to make decision making and create solutions that work across the whole organization. So, this recognize that OD practitioner cannot do OD alone. We need to manage linkage, partnership, and networks in a manner that enhance their capabilities as instrument of change. So, this OD practitioner needs support from others to successfully create change. They must build and manage connection with people inside and outside the organization, such as team members, leaders, partner, and stakeholders. This linkage, partnership, and network help them gather idea, gain support, and make change happen more effectively. Working together strengthen their ability to guide and influence positive transformation. So, mga example niya is mga IT, mga finance, or mga student members or faculty teachers. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my topic for today is all about people empowerment. People empowerment promotes ownership of the change process by designing and facilitating activities like diagnosing, planning, implementing, and evaluating change. It engages stakeholders and earns their commitment. So people empowerment means helping people in an organization na mo take part sa mga changes. So instead of panghatag ng mga orders, they are included in planning, solving problems, and checking results. So sa ingani nga pamaagi, they can feel more involved and responsible. Next. As said in the 2014 FGD, this makes it empowers not just the process more participative, inclusive, and egalitarian. It empowers not just individuals but the whole organization. So this way of doing things is very fair. Kay open siya for everyone and let people work together. Dili ra siya makahelp sa usa ka person but the whole organization grows stronger. Next, a practitioner also emphasizes enabling the organization to help itself, leaving it better even if you're not a permanent fixture. So, when someone like change expert butap is mo help. So, ilahang goal is not to stay forever but to teach the group how to keep improving on their own. Kay, example, bisag mahawa ng usa ka person, ang organization magpadayon ra gyapon. And that's all. Thank you.
Organizational and cultural sensitivity. So, sensitivity is in how the body practitioner expresses his or her beliefs and reflection in a manner that does not offend or exclude anyone, regardless of political and cultural beliefs. So, organizational and cultural sensitivity refers to the ability of only practitioner to engage with individuals and groups in a way that respects diverse beliefs, values, and cultural backgrounds. So this means communicating thoughtfully and inclusively without causing offense or politicizing culture. So one pioneer is only practitioner should be political savvy. So you need to be able to navigate politics, navigate dynamics. So being politically savvy is crucial because it involves understanding and navigating the internal dynamics and power structure of the organization. So another pioneer emphasized when you do your intervention, you also need to understand the mental model of your client system, because if you want real change, the change would have to begin from the mental model. At the same time, recognizing working with the mental models or deep-seated beliefs and assumptions client system is key for creating meaningful and lasting change. So ultimately, an audit practitioner must consider the specific organizational context, external environment, and the unique characteristics of the business or community. So this ensures that interventions are relevant, respectful, and effective.